Okay. So, um, my name is Lionel. Um, running 5 edition D&D game for the group named Adventures Guild. This time, the events of the Shards and the Dragon. Um, the trade route, the land trade route between Kamisna and has been an issue due to the bandits and different monsters that every now and then pillage or row the goods even when their um, owners do not want to. And basically, all those troubles, Illumina and Cambisna decide to forge an alliance and set three outposts in that line of trade to help locate the problematic places and provide through that route. After the events of the Shards and the ancient Red Dragon, the Illumina had to stop while, and this that project was the only outpost that was um, a to run, even when it's not it complete in the sense of a fortress, and that is about 3 days from Illumina through down the road. Adventurers uh, managed to go to the second place 3 days more, 3 days suit. Um, mountainous part of the road managed to discover that that area is pretty easily inhabited by a lot of monsters. But that was as much as they could from the area. Um, they were level. Um, After all those events, the lords decided that to start the project again. Uh, hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I was checking.
Yeah, hearing you fine. I'm going through some files on my desktop to find a map that may be helpful that I could upload for the guys.
I have to check every now and then because my computer slows down and the it's so basically they decided that it was time for the those outposts to begin again. Post in has been placed. They are requesting brave adventurers to sign up and join the task. But going to meet with merchants in charge of the operation. Nation will be given when the group meets. If you please make a short description of each of your characters. Let's start with Charlie, with Elita.
All right, Ilsa. She is much like her picture that she has, where she has a hooded leather like cloak that's dark. And let me get back over to her description. She's 5'6", 120 pounds approximately. Appears to have to be a female of around 20 years, you might guess. Let's see here. Get to her other descriptors. As far as that, yeah. She has hood up all the time, and if you really take time to notice, you'll notice behind the darkness that it covers a lot of the facial features, that her eyes almost have a reddish orange tint or glow to them, and she seems to be somewhat shapely, very kind of humanish, and if you catch her skin, though around her face, it may look a little dried out, possibly, or have a scaly tint to it. And she wears no armor that you know she has on her. She carries her pack, and let's see here. Backpack. You see a couple of small things there. You will see a hand crossbow hanging once in a while from that swings out from the cloak that's there, hanging like down around her belt. You'll notice a dagger on her belt, and you'll strap next to her backpack will be a light crossbow, is what you'll see. And she seems to be somewhat reserved in the way that she's acting at the moment, but however, she carries herself with a kind of a regal carriage. I think that'll do it.
Okay, the next one will be
who? Sorry.
Ranger. I don't remember the name.
Hawker. Yeah. Alrighty. Hawker Oswald. He is, your normal human. About 5'7", green eyes, quite sort of tan, weather-beaten skin, quite long brown hair. He's not as, I guess, heavy set or muscular as a lot of other humans. He's quite skinny, almost half elf in sort of his size. He's only about sort of 130 pounds. He, without dark clothes and his hood, carries a longbow across his back with his quiver at his side, and two quite small short swords on the other side of his quiver. Carries his pack, apart from that, you normally just see him. Well, if you see him, he's just sort of slinking around in the shadows and keeping to himself. And yeah, that's probably it.
Okay, and the last one will be the fighter.
Yep. All right. I have Hakan, who is a half-orc. He's not very tall. He's the like the runt of whatever family he might have had, and he looks like he's in his mid-30s. But because of the orcish heritage, that might mean that he's only somewhere in his early 20s for real. He's got grey skin with a little bit of a tinge of green to it. Otherwise, he has fairly human green eyes, though he does have protruding tusks from the underbite. He doesn't look as built as many orcs and such are, but a lot of that strength is sort of hidden within the wiry frame of his orcish heritage mixed with the human traits that have kind of allowed him to find some kind of a medium between the two. And no matter what the situation, he always seems fairly serene. I think that will do.
Okay, so you all see the post, the quest board, and to some money and with experience along the way. You decide to go to the Merchant Guild. In the chaos that is is current Lumina, and in there a few moments of waiting outside, you are to one of the office. It is clean enough office, but the even then the and some desk things around making breaking that kind of order and cleanliness of the room. The other side of the desk there is a male dwarf, some robes, and a couple of glasses. He's searching through some papers. It's here and there with a pen. You enter a dwarf. Gold has a golden hair and green eyes. Stands up towards each one of you, shaking your hand. In a low tone voice, salutes you all. Oh, so you are the ones who were present in the task. From I assume all of you are from the guild. Am I wrong?
Illithil say in a sultry voice with a slight hiss to it that yes, from whichever guild you need us to be, but I think I have patents here that will back up my veracity and my lineage and such, and also I think I may have a note here Master Pincus telling us that there was possibilities here with y'all. And besides that, she'll say, to prove my worthiness, I'll drink you all under the table and still walk out of here standing straight and tall.
The dwarf is a little bit and surprised by what you're saying. After a moment, continues checking the others. Right. Please sit. And he personally moves a, a of sheets and cleans up three uh, for you to sit in.
She'll thank him and comment on how grand a beard he seems to be sporting.
Yes, thank you. Please sit. And
She will.
after you all sit, he goes back or of the office of the place of the room and then closes the door. The so it's locked. Goes moves swiftly moves back his seat and sits in front of you, having the desk between. He says, "Okay, now let's get back at business," and he makes a movement with his hands. A wave of magic that managed to feel comes comes his hands and moves like securing a semi-sphere room, but it's invisible. You just feel it, and then the dwarf begins to speak. My name is Amsgar. Welcome you all. This is business, the outpost, as you might already know. But there is another issue of concern that has been troubled the lords and the merchants, trying to in this channel of trade. So I want to be sure if you are willing to earn more of coin that will the task will let you win, but taking a more risky endeavor.
Hawker just kind of glances over towards him and just sort of nods and just says, "That's why we're here."
Okay.
Right.
And the dwarf smiles. So it says, okay, this is supposed to be secret. I have the authorization of Pincus, so don't worry about that. The idea is that you're not going to only explore as the posts, as the paper says. We want you to go and infiltrate the area and basically get rid of one of the problematic tribes. They broke down the operation on the second outpost. So basically, this was going to be only for exploration and check how the play was going to be. But if you take this task, you will have to basically need the threats, and he winks. I mean, you will have to bring back what you earn, but it will be shared with you a portion of it accordingly.
Do
And
you
he
know how
begins.
much to expect from this place?
Yeah, and he begins to look at you and you three and trying to assess and say, perhaps you will need and can help you out with the. You don't see the type of people that uh, deity or means to the, the battle wounds. Is there anyone on or maybe we
No,
can provide?
I don't. I don't possess any capabilities like that, unless either of you two do.
Yeah, I can
Abilities like what?
the hidden kind.
The hidden.
Healing.
Well,
Hidden.
healing. Well, I have a friend that allows me to heal a bit from time to time. Uh, my patron that works along with me, she'll say.
Okay, okay, that's good. Nevertheless, since we want for this to succeed, I'm going to hand you down one potion of healing each. Yes, and it's the notes in a sheet, and you will be earning 100 gold pieces if everything goes okay. You have to retrieve whatever this tribe has. Place they should be hoarding stuff and bring it back to Illumina.
What kind of
In,
a haul are you expecting? We need some way of getting the goods back.
yeah, you will need that too. And he begins to make notes.
We
You
just
have some sort of transportation?
we'll just make
No?
the thieves themselves carry it back.
He jokes. This is a very big. Yeah, perhaps
From my
wagon will be
experience,
good.
dead men don't carry the weight, shall we say.
Well, then we'll have their ghosts do the heavy lifting. They don't complain as much, she'll say.
Any one of
I
you
like that word.
drive wagon?
Sorry.
No.
No? Okay, a driver will be good as well. And he keeps taking note. I mean, I do this for a normal eh, task, but since it's important that you retrieve such things, I'm willing to provide that. And he finished driver. Okay. And at the end says, okay, this will be started. Can go and exchange these I forget the name, like coupon reception, and they will provide you what we agree upon. You cannot retrieve or just feel that to the task, you uh, will be owing us for the service, but we can manage to different way if you don't have the money. And basically, and then takes another paper and puts in front of you and is a wanted. There is it's that is being hunting down through that area, and the name of the big bad guy for or the leader of that gang is called Erin Galfrey. It's a female, very sturdy, knows her stuff. Has begun to appear in the one post, apparently because she belonged to the Kamisna, and this one I will want to who is proficient in history.
History,
Not me.
Let's see here. History. Tit.
Not me. I am not.
Elif is not proficient in history. No.
Okay, so basically that's what the post
All right.
says, and there is a reward for her head, so that will be managed to defeat her. You will earn an extra coin. But just this is I'm giving this you for as information for you to be careful. Sure.
Alrighty.
And she is part of the tribe that we're going to fight, or is she a separate entity?
The leader.
She's the leader, okay. And do you want her dead or alive?
I personally do not mind. It's going for you first.
Our selection. I love it.
Is the coin different either way, or is it the same regardless?
The post says that there is a reward of 100 gold pieces for her head.
For her head. Alrighty.
Harkon's just kind of sitting there awkwardly, trying to look like he's acting casual, but really he's a little bit uncomfortable about the topic of orcs. Kind of expecting some kind of mental criticism from his companions.
Elif say, let's seal this deal with a hearty drink.
At this moment, only have beer, but sure.
If
And
that's the heartiest you have, then that's fine.
he takes 4 cups and puts it on the table. It's a little mug. Begins to pour on the cups. He puts away the mug and say cheers. And when you take the cup and smell it, it is a really strong smell and kind of sweet that many dwarfs are proud of. We closed this deal with this drink and have good look. Cling! He swallows it in one go.
I do the same.
Elif shotgun that right on down and say, ha! To the skulls that we'll carry back.
Archon politely takes a sip, but he has no intention on finishing his drink.
Okay, everyone who take the whole drink, make a Constitution saving throw.
Fuck.
For poison?
Yeah, for poison. I got up.
Illithid is immune to poison.
It's not poison per se. It's dwarven beer.
Yeah, but you usually use for alcohol, for intoxication and poison effect. So,
Okay, I will give
Yeah,
you.
alcohol poison.
I'll go ahead and roll.
Will give you advantage, but you have to roll.
All right.
That's a 15 for me.
Okay.
Right, and that will be finish. You said con, so that will be a 13.
Okay. So 15 is pass. Ilitha new to the concoctions of the dwarf. She feels a little bit dizzy, but to hold herself up, and it is not much of a trouble. But it make a dent. Um, Constitution is not nothing that good night of rest completely, but for now she feels strangely um, by the taste.
All right.
And you go down the and in the reception you give the to the receptionist, and a few moments later come like simple wagon, a four wheels, a horse is brought to the front of the building, and the one riding it, it's half elf, quite young, quite inexperienced. He's um, with its clothes are white-ish. Is basically you notice that it is like he's taking this job just because he needs the money.
Okay. Illithid will walk to the wagon, and she'll get up into the back of it and sit there and rest herself, looking around. What time of day or night is it?
Currently, it's about, you will say that it's a, half the medium of the morning, around 10 o'clock.
Okay. She'll pull her hood, her hooded that's on her cloak up a little bit further to shade her eyes a little bit from the light of the day. If it's a sunny day, if it's overcast, she'll leave it where she had it, covering her face inside.
The weather is clean, but there is nuvolosity. In that, you can see normally when it's a sunny day, you can see the shadows of the in the floor, but this is it is the other time around. You see the sun rays between the clouds, but it's not. It does not feel that it's about to rain.
I'll stand beside the wagon and give a nod to the half elf. Double check the animals and the reins, and then just keep my eye out.
They give you each one your potion of healing. Set you up the road and say good luck. So we start a march. I need an order. Who is going to do what?
Hawker is going to sort of scout stealthily if we're traveling through a forest about sort of 20 to 30 feet ahead, just kind of keeping an eye out for any incoming threats or travelers or anything. But he's also going to try and keep to the shadows and stay hidden as best as possible.
Okay. Else is going to contribute.
I'll alternate between standing or walking by the animals and walking by the back of the wagon, kind of keeping focus on the sides and the rear of where we're headed.
Elsa will be sitting in the back of the wagon, kind of just looking about somewhat, but really just resting herself, reflecting on her thoughts, reflecting upon that drink, to put it back into her mental diction of being a hearty drink, and just riding along.
Okay, so for the one who is stealthing, I need an stealth check and
Stealth check. Alrighty.
check.
Stealth and survival. Good thing I'm a ranger. Oh, that's great. So stealth is 28
Okay.
and survival is only a 14.
Okay. And for the other one, I need a perception check. Elita, perception check, and
You wanted one from Melissa. Okay, I thought you wanted one from our fighter.
for him too.
Because she wasn't really being on that.
Josh, you there?
16,
Muted.
16 for Elsa.
16. Okay.
One sec. His mic is off.
Yeah, Josh, your mic's off. Maybe his headphones too. Oh, there he goes.
Sorry, it's 14.
15. Okay. Basically, the plan will be for you to until you arrive to the first outpost. Take a small air, and then continue the other 3 days. Wow. Okay. So this is how it goes. One, and the other is 2, and the other is 2. Hardish mountains there. Okay, code of the group. Oswald.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're stealthing through at the front through the planes, you manage to find good enough for you to hide, but you know that even in some cases you will have to just walk because there is nowhere to hide. But you being a ranger, you know your stuff. Um, the end of the first day, uh, moving through see of 5 people. Sorry, 5 footsteps moving through the area, and they are quite recent. Trail goes one of the bushes you were planning to hide. You are about, say, you are 120 feet the wagon as a scout. Sun is setting down, is about to be. What do you do?
How recent do the tracks seem to be?
Very recent, like or so.
And do they seem to be human? Like obviously they're humanoid, but do they appear to be sort of more heavy set, like they were orcs? Or given that humanoids are my favorite enemy, is there a certain type of anything that I can kind of get from the tracks?
Yeah, they look humanoid, but they're
Okay.
I'd like to keep my eye out for any traps that might have been set, or maybe someone who's kind of doubled back to watch the flank.
And you said it's starting to get dark.
it's still sun there, but it's starting to get dark.
Okay. With it starting to get dark, Ilsa will be a little bit more wary-eyed and get just expecting. She's been expecting something to happen, and it hasn't yet. So she's figuring maybe in the darkness of the night she'll see it happen.
Hakan just grips his longbow, ready to use it if need be. Keeping his eye out.
I'm gonna sort of stealthily make my way back to the group and just relay everything about the tracks and just say there could be a couple of people potentially setting up something for us, but I think we should just keep our eyes peeled. And we hopefully should be okay.
Can you tell
The
how
driver
recent they were?
reacts to that. Oh no! I have to trust you guys. How would you want to handle this? I am not a competent fighter, and I'm here just for the ride.
Can you tell how fresh the tracks were?
They seem to be within the last hour or so, but it could be nothing. I'm a bit paranoid at times. I do have an idea though. If there's a trap, how about we set one for them instead?
How are we going to set a trap on people that have passed by already?
Well, we'll make camp, and
Exactly.
you two strong folks could hide. What could be more innocent than a lady and her driver camping during the night? It may entice
I
some of
like
these
that.
bandits to come on in. And when they do,
Yeah.
strike them hard to the heart.
So a big bonfire and some lurking in shadows is in tow.
Oh, we don't need a big bonfire. That might be a little. But it's just a standard bonfire, whatever our good driver needs to keep him warm at heart.
And whatever might catch their attention.
Oh,
Perhaps some
they've probably been watching us for a while.
Maybe.
But a good standard campfire will carry for miles.
indeed voices out here. They also carry, and they think you're asleep. They might come knocking, and we'll be waiting.
Well, I say we carry on in this last little bit of daylight that we have, and then prepare to set up.
Agreed. Don't make it look too obvious.
Perhaps you should continue with your scouting.
Good idea. And I'll take back off out to the front to continue scouting.
So basically, you are going to continue moving until the horse needs to rest, and you are going to make a camp.
Yeah, so till just before the sun goes down, and then we'll quickly set up camp and have a fire. I think we'd like to find a spot that has quite a few tall trees, but also is not super out in the open, but an obvious place that if bandits were going to jump us, they would be able to, so we can lure them in.
Okay, so yeah, you were 14, right? You find travel, and you know you have to stop if you don't want to push the horse or yourselves. And at the end of the hour, you begin to look for space, and yeah, you find somewhat, and there's some cover consider will prevent the light of a campfire from the south, but there is an open space that you are not certain will provide enough cover towards the north.
How large is the area?
The area is around, let's say, it around the clearance, and the vegetation is not as dense as in a forest, but there is some trees you can uh, hang your stuff to dry.
So, like, in feet, how many feet are we talking? Like 30 feet diameter?
60 feet radius is the clear, and bushes and some vegetation that could provide cover uh, uh, or the light to be seen from the south, but from the north the clearing the vegetation is not that much that could prevent a light to be seen.
Alrighty.
If we make camp at the edge of the clearing, then anyone who might be so inclined to come and investigate us stealthily would want to do so from the trees. Otherwise, we'd see them coming from a mile away. So perhaps we set up by the edge of the trees and maybe prepare ourselves for some unwelcome visitors.
Sounds
Elsa will go ahead and say, sounds like a possibility. And she'll pull a pouch out that has some coins, and she'll say, and I'll sit by the campfire and count my coin to give a little bit of added incentive for them to show their greedy little hindsights.
Well, for any
they've been watching us. They
got to work.
Say what?
watching us. They may, if they've been as well. Do you think it would be better to wait until that and then
I don't know.
be ready? And
Sounded choppy to me. I couldn't make it out. Maybe it's just me.
sorry, we're just
I
my
kinda
camera,
got that.
my mic. Can you hear me better now?
Yep.
So I said, if they've been watching us for a while, know that the tool and seeing just you out in the open, a bit of them as they, perhaps instead we make and around it for a little bit. We at least gone. We'll go to Attenborough. Then
I think you should reload because at least I cannot hear. Using in-game chat, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off and then start back up.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
So, if we're gonna go ahead and set up this ambush,
Alrighty, how's that?
Elitha,
That's good. Go on there, our fighter, our meat shield.
I was just thinking, Elitha, if we go ahead with the ambush idea and we let them close in on the camp, would you rather let us intervene when there's kind of at the robbery stage when they confronted you, or would you rather it be done kind of as soon as we make contact with them?
Oh, definitely. Let them come in and have a little bit of what they think is joy. Let them put themselves out there, and you guys catch them on their unawares. As far as that, I'll have this strong driver here that'll be able to protect my small self.
All right, well, there's no intention to put you in danger, so I thought I'd ask.
I'll take the danger on head first. Don't worry.
Sounds
Okay,
like a plan.
Anything else?
Ranger, I believe you had an idea.
Yes. If they've been, can you guys hear me now? Just double checking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty. If they've been watching us for a while, there's the chance that they know the two of us are here, and assuming they know that they may not come out if they can't see us or if they think we're hiding somewhere. So perhaps we should feign like we're going to sleep and pretend, and then I'm sure I could stealth away to the tree line without being seen. And then if you, Harkan, if you remain in your tent ready to jump out, perhaps that could be something as well.
Right. I was thinking if the tents were against the tree line with the rest of the camp, then slipping out the back might not be too hard. But
That's a better idea.
don't discount me for stealth. I'm used to finding my way around the warrens of the cities.
Or you can just make it kind of loudly.
I will let you keep.
Holler, but loudly known that you're going to go out and look for some food.
It's a good idea.
True. Some fresh game.
Indeed. Well, which one? Shall we do that, or shall we, maybe one of us, or maybe I'll go hunting and you can sneak out the back of your tent?
Right.
Alrighty. Well, sounds good to me.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
Alrighty. And I'll go and I'll pick up my bow and I'll quietly, not too loudly and obvious, but sort of as I sort of walk off the other way, I'll kind of call back and say, well, I'll be out hunting. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Don't wait up. And I go off into the tree line and I try and stealth.
Sounds like a plan.
So you come.
Pardon?
Wow. It camp. It comes. The horse is feeded, and the driver sits next to the cart. Ready?
Do you want me to make a stealth check for hiding or?
No, you can use the first one.
Okay, because I was gonna try and sort of climb up a tree and just be about
That will be athletics.
Athletics, yeah, no worries. Just to be, just not very high, just about sort of 15, 20 feet up, just to sort of be above the ground so I can get a good vantage point of the camp. Athletics, that's only an 8.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is no good trees that you can spot that could give you a proper lift.
Alright, in that case, I'll just stand.
Or too short.
Alright, so I'll just sort of hide where I can see the camp and ready my bow, unmoving.
I'll make sure to pitch my tent somewhere where I believe I can duck out the back into the wood to kind of have a little bit of the foliage as my hiding place, should I need to use one.
Okay, let me put something here. Okay, so the night comes, the bird is snoozing already, waiting to ambush you or try to fall into your trap. but nothing comes your way.
Okay. Ilsa will be looking out into the dark. She has 120-foot dark vision.
Okay. Between the bushes or and the trees, Elita sees no one coming.
Okay.
Basically, you search your and the morning comes and no one uh, reaches the camp.
I suppose we weren't
The
being watched after all.
the driver wakes up. What happened? And seeing the light of the sun is hitting his face. And are we alive? Did something happen?
No, we're actually dead.
Ilsa will say, yes, something happened. Dear driver, I saved your life 5 times last night. While you were asleep where you should have been protecting me.
You are a very heavy sleeper.
So it's time for to move again. You pack things up. Take down one of your rations because you did not hunt last day.
No worries.
One ration down.
Alright.
And the wagon begins to move again.
Same as
What are you going
before.
to do this day?
Same as before. I'll
Stealth
keep
and survival. Okay.
scouting ahead, looking not just for tracks, but also for any signs of the orcs or anyone watching us. Just keeping an eye out.
Okay. The half orc to do anything?
I don't have the belief anymore that we were being watched, so I will focus on the tracks ahead of us. Can we see the tracks on the ground as we're going along?
Perception check. The stealth and the ranger.
Was that stealth and survival?
Stealth and survival.
No worries. Alrighty, stealth, that's 24. And survival is a 16.
Okay.
And Ilsa will be sitting in the back of the wagon, just looking about the countryside, taking the easy ride, talking to the driver and saying, You're a good man, sir. You do a good job.
Thank you.
And such. That's about the tone that she'll be there. She will just be, I guess, mechanically, just passively perceiving, stuff from the back of the wagon.
And I'll take the
A
front with the
question
animals.
is Elitha has Elitha sensitivity to sunlight?
No.
Okay.
It's just that she tries to hide. She's smart enough to know that her features, even though humanoid, the reptilian scale, like on the skin, and her reptilian tongue would put some back. So if it's right or light, she'll pull the hood forward, and the other time pulling it forward was because she felt a little tipsy. So to protect her from maybe having a bit of a headache when she was doing it the other time.
Okay. What was the perception check for the?
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a 21.
Okay. And here the birds singing. You see the sunlight coming through the mountain tops. You see all around you, but the only tracks you can perceive right now are animal-like, small animals, nothing that you think could be a threat
I
to
guess we
the
just
caravan.
That's okay. I'm just continuing to have a watch.
But you hear every now and then, the fighters hears every now and then bushes at the distance moving strangely. It's not the wind, but the and the leaves sound strangely.
Like in the trees or by the bushes? Like, is it
The
up
bushes,
high or on the
bushes.
ground? Does it sound like an animal, or maybe someone is trying to be quiet?
Can't tell. Hear it and know there is something weird. It's not the wind that you can see. Is not the you can hear or feel that is not the wind. The second day passes by. No one sees anything else of worth mentioning. The night comes. You find another good spot to take a rest. You see the camp. Who is going to watch? Which one is going to be the order of guard?
I don't have dark vision, so I'll probably take the watch that'll be the brightest. Is it cloudy tonight, and is the moon out?
Today is cloudy as well.
Take
But
last
the
watch
moon
then.
is the moon is half crescent moon. Be a good source of light either.
Righty. Yeah, I'll take the last watch then.
Liliana can take the first one because sorry, Elitha can take the first one because I know that's probably the best watch to take, and Harkon doesn't mind being woken. On his watch, though, he's gonna do a little as quiet of a patrol around the camp as he can. Maybe just no more than 30 feet in the radius.
Charles, can you remind me how many moons Airwood has?
Yeah, I can do that. There's let me see here. I'll pull it right on up for you. And let's see here.
2 moons or 2 suns? I don't remember. I think there are two.
I want to say there's three. I think there's three moons, but let me go over here and double check. I'll open up the area with facts book here and let's see here because it's in that instead of digging through my binder or it might be faster this way. That's why I'm going off the laptop. Open up Word document, come on. should reach for the binder. All right, there we are. This and each. Where is it? All right, 12 hour. Harrywood has 24-hour day, 12 hours late, 12 hours darkness, 72 weeks, 6 weeks in a month, 12 months in a year, 72 weeks in a year, 504 days a year. Planet's axis is tilted at 15 degrees. 2 moons, yeah, 2 moons. 180 degrees out from each other. So
180.
yeah,
So
180 degrees out. So when one is in darkness, one's in light.
okay. So since this crescent in one about the early night, and the other one will be um in for the opposite one, but it's about the same light uh, early in the morning.
Alrighty. So before we do go to sleep, I'm going to go and forage for a bit of food, just berries, things like that, as part of my the revised ranger, as one of the level 1 things, natural explorer. When you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would. So I'd say I'd be able to find a decent amount of food.
Roll a survival.
Damn, these good rolls. So
Much?
24, nat 19 plus 5.
You managed to pick a nest of rabbits, and many of the bushes you look through are either have either berries or are species that could help seasoning the basically food for and the next one.
Awesome. So yeah, and then I'll just I guess cook for everyone and then go to sleep after 8.
Okay. This day also nothing happens, but let me double check. Hawker, the ranger, and the fighter, each one of you in one of your turns hear a branch breaking in distance, but close to the camp. If you were trying to make of the distance, it would be around 100, maybe, and 50 feet away. No one.
I'm going to try and arc around, see if I can flank the noise.
So you're going to move. Okay. And a stealth check.
Yep. Have to roll at disadvantage, sure, because of my scale. But I still got a 19 because I have a +5 to stealth.
So you move through the bushes stealthily. You're secure. You have not revealed your position. But when you arrive there, there is nothing except branches cut it in half or break in half, and what will be clearly a step one or something. You
So,
don't get,
am I close to it? Sorry?
you can go and check. Do you want to assess what was it? Right?
Is it not there anymore?
I don't see anything else.
Do I see? Yeah, I want to see what might have been there and any tracks that it might have made.
Roll a survival.
Ooh, 20.
Yeah, you know this footstep is orcish. It's a little bigger than a human size, so it's not. If it is not orc, it is of that level of heaviness, and it moves around, and you see. As you try to follow, you see three more foot or foot tracks of about the same weight and size, moving around, and you notice that it's around the camping site, not approaching further 120 to 150 feet of distance. But you don't
What do
get
I see?
you don't
Sorry.
you don't sorry.
What do I see?
See footsteps at tracks of at least three orc-ish creatures.
Yes, but you said something is like around 150 feet away.
Yeah, the tracks do not get closer to the camping site.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Stay at 120.
Can I see the campsite from where the tracks are? Like, does it look like they were watching us?
You can see it clearly.
Okay. I'm gonna go back the way I came to get here, and I'm gonna inform the rest of the party what I saw.
So you wake us up.
Yeah.
So, how
I
many?
don't think there's
did you-
much that we can do about it, but I know that, well, you know, you probably want to know. There was about 3 of them, from my estimate.
I mean, if there were tracks, I'm sure I could follow them back to the source if you wanted to go on the offensive, but it's up to you guys.
We could, but leaving the wagon unattended could be a bad idea.
Also very true.
Well, why don't you two go and track the tracks? They may go out and around and end up back here. I'll stay with the wagon master and protect the wagon and the wagon master. And if we start being attacked, I can definitely make it known that we need you here.
All right. Well, then I say we try to follow the tracks, but avoid engaging if possible. Just kind of see where they are, where they're operating from. Maybe get
We'll
some
just have a
idea.
look. Yeah, we'll just have a look for now and we'll decide what to do after.
Right. We're already outnumbered.
Agreed.
Outnumbered? We're not outnumbered. You said 3 sets of tracks.
Right, but if it's me and the ranger going, then it's just 2 to 3.
Aren't you guys at least worth two apiece?
I should hope so, but to assume so doesn't always work out too well.
Very true. So yeah, we'll
See if I can't go spill some more blood.
Alrighty then. We have a plan.
sorry, just had to say see you to mum. So what's the plan?
Let me just double check something.
You guys go and track them down, and we kill them.
Alrighty, if we find a camp, we come back for you, and then we all go together. We wouldn't want to deprive you of the fun.
Oh yeah, but if they're circling around and come in and think that they got you out and come in to attack the camp, I'll let you know that they're here. And I may save you one or two to have fun with.
Sounds good.
Sounds great. Alrighty, so yeah, we go and do that.
Okay. So roll a 20. I will say that that's enough. I'm not going to make you roll again. So you begin to track back the.
We're going to do it stealthily as well, just so we don't get seen.
Are you disposed to track to follow these tracks?
I'd say, yeah. Maybe an hour or two at max before maybe heading back would be a good idea to get some rest.
Okay, so make the stealth roll and a constitution saving throw.
And a con save, okay.
19 stealth.
17 stealth for me.
And 11 con save.
23 con save.
Oh wait, sorry, no, 14 con save. I do have a modifier.
Plus 6.
Damn, nice.
Fighters. Okay. So it's the border of time where you have to rest, but thanks to the cooking of the rabbit meat, you are able to hold further down, and you tracks is quite complicated because the tracks actually circle around the camp before they split, and at the end of the hour you find conversation. Which languages do you have?
I have Common, Elvish, Orcish, and Dwarven.
I have Orcish.
The conversation is Orcish. They're saying, but why we're not attacking them? We should take what they have. And another is saying, you already know that what the boss say was just, and see where they're going. Only if we can attack them. We have to wait for the reinforcements. A tier voice saying, I'm hungry, I just want to eat them. Now do it.
I mean,
keep talking about that. Apparently not paying attention where you are.
is this the
How
same
many-
3 as before? Just 3?
Here three, you can identify 3 voices.
Can we see them at all, or can we only hear them?
Sorry?
Can we see them, or can we only hear them?
You can only hear them.
Is there any?
Further 100 feet away.
I whispered
Is
to
there like-
the ranger, we are better off taking 3 than whatever reinforcements they have.
Yeah, I agree. Should we go back and get Illitha, or do you think they'll be moving on by then?
I think we'd lose them by then. We may need to deal with them ourselves.
Alrighty, well, if they're over there, how about you go left, I go right?
All right. We can probably hit them from the trees. I have a bow as well.
Sounds good. If we can take them out before they get anywhere, that'd be great.
Yeah, if there's one bigger than the rest, let's just aim for him first.
Sounds good.
If not, the closest one. Let him
Closest
come to me.
one. Right.
Yeah.
No worries. And yeah, I'll stealth over to the right and try and get a vantage point on them.
Are you going to split?
Yes.
I would like to Ranger to roll with disadvantage night, and does not have perception unless you want to have light source.
No, I'm not gonna. I'll just roll with disadvantage. A full stealth disadvantage.
Just perception.
Perception you cannot see.
Okay, but
Maybe
for my stealth check, I'm fine.
2 steps, further down or away from you, you cannot see for 2 steps. You can roll stealth with disadvantage.
Alrighty.
Or you can light a source and roll a normal stealth.
What race are you? Oh, you're human, that's right.
Yeah, I'm a human. Well, the first one's
Gonna
pretty good.
see if you had it.
Damn it,
Natural
that was a natural 19 and a 4. So that put 13.
Okay. 13 of stealth with a 4.
I have a 13. I have a +9 to stealth.
Wow.
I have a 5 dex, and then I have expertise in it because of the feat that I took as a variant human.
Okay. And what is it going to do? The
Pardon?
other one is going to move around to flank?
A little bit. There's not really much need if the ranger is moving as well.
Okay,
so
you're going to wait for the signal. Okay.
Until I can either see him in position or until he fires. Otherwise, I'm only going to wait maybe 1 or 2 minutes before I fire.
Yeah,
okay.
Sounds good. Do they have a fire or any light source with them, or are they in a clearing, or?
They're not.
Okay.
We don't know. The half orc, as he's getting closer, because wait, you're not moving. No, none of you know where they are, but you cannot see a light source.
I want to be around 50 to 40 feet away before I'm ready to take my shot.
Okay. Roll on stealth.
Yeah. 10 plus 5, 15.
Okay. You're good. You get closer and you begin to see effectively
Okay.
orcs are there standing. Apparently, have not noticed neither your teammate. The conversation is starting to climb up. Takes an arm from he was carrying and limp the arm. You from the distance you could tell it's a humanoid arm and begins and keeps on munch and is making a disgusted face and says it's already rotting. I need to eat fresh meat.
Okay. Um, can I see the ranger in position anymore?
No. I mean, you have 60 feet of dark vision.
Yep.
And will be. You know what? I'm going to give it to you. Yes, you see at the corner, at the distance, at the point where their sight goes, you see the ranger moving, leaving of which armor do you have? A
Scale.
scale?
Oh,
Pardon?
Yeah.
Armor.
Armor. The ranger.
I have leather.
Their armor. You know that some stripes are made with a metal, but it's almost imperceptibly, and you will not be able to see him unless you knew where he were. Him moving and taking his position.
Okay, well, I will notch an arrow. Be ready for him to stay still and do the same.
Can I see the orcs at all? As like, I'd probably move if I can't see them. I'd move a little bit closer to the point where I can almost see them by the moonlight, even as little moonlight as there is.
Make a perception roll with disadvantage.
9.
You cannot see them. You can hear them, but you cannot see them.
Okay.
Smell of the smell of orc. It's close enough, but and the sounds allow you to tell they are about 20-30 feet away from you. Allows for you to move through the area.
Okay, I'm just going to I'm gonna just wait, and I'm gonna I'll grab a torch out of my bag, but I'm not gonna light it yet. I'm just gonna hold it with my tinderbox, but I'm not gonna light it.
So,
can still see
gentlemen,
him.
roll for initiative.
Okay. Fuck. I got a 5.
So,
So I imagine you're going to shoot your arrows.
Pardon?
Yes, that's my plan. I see him take out his tinderbox, so I realize he can't see. And I go ahead and give the signal, which is an arrow to the mouth of the one that's eating the flesh.
Roll the attack.
Is that advantage because he's surprised?
Which one you? Yeah, roll with advantage.
Okay, cool. That's good. 19 to hit.
That hits. That it moves through the air and through the and sinks in one of the hide armor the orc is wearing.
And the damage is 7 piercing damage.
Okay, and what are you going to do, Ranger?
Me.
Yeah.
So seeing that, I'm going to. It's an action to light the torch, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
What are you going to light it with?
My tinderbox.
Yeah, I will give you one action.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
That will be you will be holding your action until your partner shoots. That will be a reaction.
Yeah. So I'd hold it until he shoots, and then I'd probably actually just not hold the action. I'd just wait, because then on my next turn I light it, and then sort of once he's got their attention, I'd light it and then drop it, and then
You can try and shoot. That's because you can smell them and hear them.
yeah, all right, I may as well. Yeah. So at disadvantage, that's probably not going to hit. So the first one was a 13.
That just hits you. Your how the leaves are moved. A arrow moving through the air and shoots at one of them. Roll damage.
Boy, that is 12 damage.
Wow.
Almost max. Oh, actually, because it's a humanoid, they're my favorite enemy. So with the revised ranger, I get a +2 to damage. So it's actually 14.
Okay.
14, yeah, not 12.
Roll 1d6 and tell me what you get.
1d6, no worries. A 1.
1. Good. 14. Yeah. You what that arrow the half orc Harkan. You see how your teammate prepares an arrow, blindly trying to whatever orc he can see, he can perceive, and the arrow is released and goes straight to the neck of the orc and dies. At the same moment, you release your arrow and flies towards the other and hits him in the shoulder and screams, "Ah!" Drops the arm is holding, and they scream and turn at each and the remaining turn. The arrows were shoot at. Um, turn. The initiative. You're first.
That's me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to light a. So I'll grab out my torch and I'll light the torch, and then what I'm going to do. Pardon? So I'll light the torch and then just drop it on the floor at my feet, and then I'm going to run 30 feet back, as far as I can back.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
An attack roll.
Yeah, to see where the lies or.
Okay. It's 17, and I don't know what to add to it. So is it strength? Because then it's just a 17.
Yeah, strength. So
Yeah, just 17. I have no strength.
to throw the torch and falls a bit like orcs, but not where they are standing.
Alrighty. But it's close to them.
Yeah. Next is the damage that was eating the arm, turns around to see Harkan and picks up his axe and runs towards him. Surprisingly enough, the aggressiveness on the orc to reach where Arkham and swings once towards the half orc fighter. In 5.
My AC is 16 because I don't have my shield out.
And you somehow manage to dodge as the axe swings you and cuts only bushes, but it misses you. And the next one is the other orc. About an hour away.
He's running away.
No, he was replying to Charles in the group chat.
Oh, okay.
You see the orc that has not been wounded turn back at Hawker's area and sees the torch. He's going to and throw it back at him and move the distance.
I moved about 30 feet back, by the way, so I'd be quite a bit away from them.
I said you were at 30 feet.
Okay, so now I'm 60.
So 60, but they have aggressive.
Oh, see.
Allows them as a bonus action to move the.
Oh, I thought you said he threw it at me. Okay, so he runs at me.
Throw and moves, and then uses bonus to move. So he reaches you, but only throws the eye.
Okay.
And but the torch does not reach you. It falls about 15 feet away from you.
Alright, that's good for me.
See at your right, but you can see the orc moving and now and he's holding his great axe.
Alrighty.
Next one is
All
what
right.
you going
Well,
to
this
do? You
guy's
have
on my face
an
now. So
orc in your
hopefully-
face.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the longbow to the side and swing at him with my battle axe, two-handed, without time to don a shield.
Okay.
So, oh, that's really good. 23 to hit
That hits.
for 13 points of slashing damage from my battle axe.
Yeah. You sink weapon into the torso of the orc. It spits blood and drops. How could you have one orc in front of you?
Alrighty. So I'll drop my longbow and then pull out. Pretty sure I can only pull out the one short sword. I can't pull out both. So I'll just pull out, unless I can grab both of them, which I don't think I can. So I'll just make the first attack. That's probably not going to hit. That's only a 9.
Pieces.
And do I have my offhand attack with my other short sword, or can I not get that out?
Wait, what?
So I have 2 short swords on me, but because I have my bow out, I have to drop my bow to pull my short swords. Can I get both of them out with the one, like in the one turn, or do I need to pull the other one out in my next turn?
You will have to have dropped the bow in order to light the torch and throw it.
Oh, so I
You
wouldn't even.
will use an action for the previous round.
That's right.
And
So I
a
would.
bonus
Okay,
action. And
so I wouldn't have the bow. Yeah, okay, that makes. I forgot about the torch. Yeah, so then I would have both my short swords. So because this turn I'd get my offhand one out. So then I'll attack with my offhand as well, and that's a 14 to hit.
Roll damage.
And that's max damage. That's 6 plus 2 because it's my favorite enemy. So 8 damage.
Damage. Okay. Now it's the turn of the orc. It's the only one who's living, still alive. Sorry. Doesn't know his friend. He's just going to try to again his axe to try to hit you.
Alrighty.
15 hit.
Pardon?
To Hawker 14.
No 16 AC.
So it misses again, and Harkan that sees that the orc in front of him is dead to another orc 30 feet away from him, and but you can hear your teammate and the remaining orc fighting further away in front of you.
You said 30 feet away.
The one who is dead. The other hand, the is still alive, is further away from where you can see. If you were to calculate, you will say that it's about 90 feet from you.
30 feet. All right, well, we'll run up behind it and just bring the battle axe down on its head.
I think it's 90 feet. It's 90 feet because because the middle was 30 feet from you, and then I was 30 feet from them, and then I ran another 30 feet away.
Okay,
to
okay.
90
I'll
feet.
go ahead and pick my bow back up, and I'll run 30 feet, and I'll take a shot.
Okay, you can do that.
That's pretty shit. 10 to hit.
And that
I
misses.
don't think 10. Yeah, okay.
I will say that since it's 3 feet of walking, she will not be able to hear unless the was pretty quiet. So what I can allow is with disadvantage if she can hear anything, and I will roll behind the scenes to see how much noise is in the area. Ilithia to hear.
I'm gonna use my action surge though.
Okay.
I can use it now.
Yes, but remember that you will not recover it until 10 days have passed.
Oh yeah, it's the week. That's right. No, I'll save it.
Action surges
wait,
are
no,
short rest,
action
though.
short rest,
So
yeah.
it's
okay.
just a sleep.
And you can
Yes,
use
no,
it.
I can use it. I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna fire. This is a bit better. 13.
15 does hit.
Okay. 6 plus 3. That's 9 piercing damage.
9 and you made 10. Yeah, the orc receives an arrow through his neck. The arrow head can be seen poking through the orc's mouth, and it drops a hawker. Pulses a moment until it stops moving.
Alrighty.
And that's the end of the combat. I will say that Ethelia the battle, nothing comes her way. So and the half elf is kind of scared because he was awoken in the middle of the night. But and further that no noise, no other special.
Elsa was told, just go to sleep underneath the wagon. Don't worry about it. I got you covered. And like that. It's a nice quiet night. Stop your whimpering. You make it hard to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. So the orcs are dead.
Do any of them have bows at all?
They do not have bows. The one you shoot down first had a couple of javelins.
Can I try and recover my arrow that I shot at him? Or is it destroyed?
I shot
2, 3,
so
4
if I can
hours.
get it back to.
You recover half rounded down of the arrows you used. So you use only one, you cannot recover arrows.
Alright, I get one back. Do they have any kind of like a badge or tattoo on these orcs?
You can investigation
that marks
check.
them in the clan. Investigation. 18.
Looking through the armor, you manage to lift it, and in one of the shoulder uh, plate in the back there is a symbol, like it's in Orcish. Basically, it's the rank, and it says that is a simple soldier.
Okay. Not really any.
All of them have that the same mark.
Pretty happy to leave.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to head back to camp.
Yeah,
Okay.
back to camp.
It takes another. It takes about 30 minutes this time. So because you know they don't have to follow tracks. In Litha, and very scared half elf sleeping.
Illitha will, to try to make the half-elf feel a little at ease underneath the wagon, will put a night light up for him. She will go ahead and cast light, and she'll put it on, not right on the underneath of it where it's shown, but on the backside of the wagon. So it kind of shows out and around, so it would be somewhat dim light because he's covered by the bottom of the wagon with him sleeping.
Oh, all right. So basically, pick a rock, cast light on it, and put it under the wagon so it is covered by the wagon wheels and stuff.
Yeah, by the wagon wheels on the bottom. Up on the top where the cargo area would be is where along the edges, say the sidewalls and the top of the bottom floor is where she's going to put cast it. And it's only going to last for an hour anyway. So.
Okay.
Just enough to give him a night light, and then the other anyone out in the woods might be able to see it as a dim beacon, depending on how far they are.
Yeah, about 100 feet, they see the teeny bit of light from that is passing through the
Because at 40
the
feet
holes.
it's dim light, 20 feet it's bright. So.
And they arrive at the campsite, and you see them.
Well, how do they look?
They're pretty. They have some blood stains, but they seem to be holding the ground. They are not wounded.
Okay. And Illitha asked him, "Where'd the blood come from? You come across some more rabbits? You got a good covey of rabbits there for tomorrow's meal?"
Not exactly.
You don't want to eat this meat.
Yeah. It's quite tough. Doesn't taste very good. Believe me.
That's why you use a rock on it. You smash it a few times and it tenderizes it.
Yes, we found them. Only a few of them, and we thought they were going to move on quite soon, so we decided it'd be best to take care of them now before they got reinforcements, as that's what they were talking about.
Maybe we better move along. If they sent for reinforcements.
Perhaps.
It didn't seem like the reinforcements would be here for at least another day.
Yeah. What time is it, roughly?
It will require about it's about midnight,
Alrighty.
middle of the second shift.
No worries. Well, I think we should turn in and get a couple of extra hours sleep. Maybe stay in for a few extra hours in the morning and then get moving as soon as possible.
Taking set up my watch there for the second shift, and she'll stay on watch until it's time to wake them go to get ready to go. She'll let them sleep on, and she'll sit on up wait.
Okay. The night passes. You have a preparing short rest. Uh, half elf. It's surprisingly well rested. Vaccines up. Is more calm thanks to Elite's help, but he's packing things with speed. It's not running, but he's packing things up quick enough.
Just rushing around type of thing.
Yeah.
Taking it.
And he's ready to move before all of you are ready. You start to move again. The day passes without any further notice, any trouble, and you reach the first.
Ilsa riding back the wagon like she has been, basically resting, not overexerting herself or nothing.
Yeah, I'll keep stealthing, scanning ahead stealthily. Seems to be working so far.
Yeah, for the sake of brevity, nothing else comes that day. Probably because you reach early. The outpost about 2 hours before the sun sets, and you reach the palisade, and I don't know if any one of you have been in this area, but it looks exactly as it was prior to the conflict. It's obvious that the lords have not been paying much attention, and whatever repairs the needs it's being done just to keep it protected. Still in use. People is in there. You heard rumors that in this was one griffin. The nobles was the guild to find a suitable creature to be as a gift to his daughter, and outpost to for the girl to train in riding the griffin. But the griffin is no more in there. There's still there is in there only about 4 to 10 soldiers. Basically, there is only a tent for cure wounds and diseases for treatment, one for the for the weapons and stuff, and the other 4 or 5 for resting place.
Okay. So we made it to the first outpost.
Do you want to do anything special on the outpost, or
I would. Ilsa would suggest that we tell the post commander of the situation with the orcs that you two found, and that they were getting reinforcements. So we may have a battle coming this way, or definitely there's going to be a larger group along the trade route. So they may need to patrol it a little more, possibly. But let them, we definitely need to let them know that. And
Yeah, sounds good.
Probably ought to find a place to rest here and clean up, get a good meal, and check some stores to put it in the wagon and move on down to our next point, and maybe resupply ourselves with what we can purchase or find and such here. Maybe we can find some information. Are there other civilians coming in and out of the outpost?
no? Basically, the only ones standing there in this moment are the soldiers. Um, it's basically due to the halt of the construction, the construction being halted. Basically, they are keeping their ground, but they are not making any progress in the construction. So it's simple enough, just a barricade made of wood,
Okay,
and the tents that still. And there is a pond to resupply water, and there is a storage for food, but not tent, not like a store. Sorry, a marketplace or somewhere to be. They can sell you paint. They have to spare a simple transaction. You can even trade, but they do not have a market there.
Okay, but do we see, is there evidence that we could see that civilians from outside the outpost come on in and leave or hang around, thinking that possibly?
It's a place to.
What Ilf is thinking is possibly there's a traitor in amongst them, letting the bandits know about the movements going. That's what
Oh,
she'll be
you can this you can ask the commander, but basically he will tell that the bigger operation have been stopped for a while now.
Yeah.
But when you ask, don't you say that you are part of the merchants? You are being sent by the merchants to open again. But again, the process, he will say that basically you are the first one, and maybe in a month or two, the place will be running again. There is no current people
Okay.
at or staying in the outpost to move towards Illumina or from Illumina towards Camisna.
All right.
No merch, what is no goods moving around, not resting in there.
Yep. All right. And she'll say, thank you for the information, and she'll ask how his men are faring.
If yeah, for the fortunately enough, the men are being fed, and the shifts in between their they frequent enough present fatigue. So you know that they stay one someday a certain amount of days outpost, and then they move back to Illumina, and they send replacements.
Yeah.
It is frequent enough for them not to get exhausted. Anything
Alrighty.
else?
I would like to just go to one of those merchants you're talking about and just buy, like, say, 40 gold, which I believe, 40 arrows, which I believe is 2 gold.
So there is no merchants, but you can go to the tent where they keep their weapons and the
Okay,
armor.
Awesome.
And
Then you
one of the
just
soldiers in there can basically, the one who is keeping the inventory, he says, sure, you can.
All right.
When you made the transaction, you get 40 arrows. You give them 2 gold.
No worries. And I'll just chuck those arrows in my bag just as stored arrows. Sweet.
Okay.
And apart from that, I say we should push on and keep trying to find these bandits.
Elfo suggests maybe resting here and see if we may have to help the outpost here stave off that reinforcements that you said that the orcs were talking about.
It seemed from the conversation, I gathered that it seemed as if they were getting a few reinforcements to take out our traveling group as opposed to mounting a full-scale assault on the outpost. But, I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry. So perhaps we could rest here for a couple of days and help out.
A good day's rest would do
Yeah, morale.
the teamster a little good maybe, and his horse
Great.
or oxen some good, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't hurt the body and spirit maybe. And
A few drinks would be appreciated.
So basically, you want to hang out for a whole day inside the outpost to prevent group being ambushed outside the outpost, and maybe dissuade the orcs that could be attacking.
Yeah, and also using the background feat that I know I have and Hakan has as well, which is that we've got sort of because we are sort of bounty hunter style people, just to use that to gather a bit of information about this group of bandits from any contacts we may have in the city or anyone we know or can find, to maybe find out exactly where the bandits are, things like that, or if anyone's helping them. Just touching back on what Ilithus said earlier. But as opposed to going to the commander, going to people, guards, things like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So since Charlie has to go in, if you want, we can play with only 2 characters, or we could and continue later date or what goes on. I mean, the tribe is a tribe, and 2 characters will not do justice.
that's one of the reasons why character-wise I was rest it here is a good spot to do that and tie it up and pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pick up
Next
from
time.
Okay.
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
we can all get back into it together.
there. Yeah. And maybe we
Alrighty.
be able to pick up a few more since this has been leaked.
Yeah.
We got a tribe coming after us.
Yeah, pick up an extra meat shield or a healer.
There's something.
Yep.
So do we get paid at this outpost or do we get paid at the end? Where were we taking it again?
When you bring back the things, you have to bring back to Illumina.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have to find the outpost and take their stuff. Okay,
Yeah, we need to find the bandits. Yeah.
Yeah.
we're taking their stuff. That's right. We're not delivering. We're taking.
Yep.
I can
job
roll.
completion.
I can roll to see what you got from the orcs.
Pardon?
And that will be just a few coins. Let me double check
Why do orcs even want
their
money?
house.
They can't spend it anywhere because they walk into town and people just kill them.
Prestige.
Yeah. I mean, it's money for orcs, I guess, is a trophy.
I mean, it's just like a dragon with its horde. You don't
Yeah.
see a dragon go into town and buy a drink.
That's true.
That would be quite a sight.
Although they do on occasion polymorph
Yeah.
and
But
then
I'm
bed
just
some
saying
make a dragon ball.
the mental thought behind it, why do they
Yeah. It's not.
hoard or have these things? They're trophies, just like most hunters or
Yeah. It's not logical. It's just like they want it because they want it.
Yeah.
Basically, you got around. You got to split between each one of you of 15 gold. Sorry, 15 silver pieces
All right, 5 each.
for each one of you.
No.
$15.
Elsa wouldn't take none of that because she wasn't in that battle.
You were still part of the.
No,
You were guarding.
But she tell you, I wouldn't. No.
She was
You
guarding the home front.
That's yeah.
We-
You guys put yourself out there, split it between the both of you, and she'll let you know she has plenty of gold in her eyes for herself.
Alrighty, yeah.
But you have to at least let one of us buy you a drink then.
Yeah, agreed.
Since this is a stopping point, a legal stepping point civilization, like you can get the experience point for the session.
Just one?
No, you one.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
I think that means I level up. You
need
I think level 2 is 1 experience point, right?
Oh yeah, right. You start at 0, my bad.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. I like the way this experience works actually.
Yeah, it's so much
It makes
more
it a
simple
lot less
than
number crunchy.
yeah. Then you get 4,507 experience, and you got to do it. It's annoying. So much better like this.
Do we get any downtime? Sorry.
We'll get 5 days of downtime.
Awesome.
3 days and a combat.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Oh, sweet. I get spellcasting, so I now can heal.
I'll go ahead and stop the recording. That way I can get it start processing so I can get it out the